Okay, I knew I would find a photo that would represent my relationship with my grandmother, also being my twin. And this photo is to show you there is a mirror behind me, and it is my grandmother and my message to say I am a reflection of my grandmother. And that is how to consider these things. We are reflections of our ancestors. I have to go back. We are not reflections of our ancestors. My grandmother wasn't my ancestor, so I'm going to just leave it at that. So this, as I've got a video that I've already put together, and I didn't have this piece. So I'm going to show this piece first, and then I'll show you the rest of the video about my amazing family and secret angels, and see how it can relate to your family, because I'm about family for humanity, for all of us. You know, my family broke apart. It's broken apart in a lot of pieces, and that's just not acceptable, guys. So let's learn some more. Let's let my unconsciousness unfold. Allow me to be wrong at times, and I will eventually get back to the absolute truth. Now, if you're waiting for my next video, why don't you go back to my older videos and see other information I've revealed over the last while. I got this new YouTube account, and already I have many videos of information about your soul, your conscience, and how to reach into your emotional intelligence. I show you how I cook and how I play crafts and reach into my own emotional intelligence, because that's what I'm trying to grow here. My temple dies eventually, and what remains is in my eyes, in my beams, and my imagination, the garden I create and take home. So there. If this is all wrong, if I'm wrong about my spiritual connection to you and to the stories of Jesus and Mary and King James and Queen Mary, if this is all nonsense, and my dots are all connected wrong, then so be it. I mean, if you want to take on an imagination, that's fine, but this is my garden now, and I'm doing it with my heart. You know, there's a big difference between making up fantasies and pretend land. I'm doing it from my heart, out of my spirit, and what I want to share. So it seems like a complete 180 degree, and it's exactly what I came to do, is flip this place upside down. So I hope you enjoyed the whole video, and like and share if you want consciousness to come to all of us, and maybe we can walk out of slavery together. Okay, I just wanted to show you what twin flames look like. This is grandfather and grandson. This is Ivan Gilbert Groseclose, and that is Trevor Thomas. Even their teeth gap is the same. There. This photo was taken on purpose for this reveal of the twin flame soulmate phenomenon that we've been held back from knowing about. So I want to share the images that pop up on my computer, and this one just popped up for me to share, of what twin flames, that means they are of the same spirit. They led identical lives, and they had identical mothers, because my mother my grandmother, which is my father's mom, and I are twin flames. But so is my mother and I. I've got to still figure stuff out, okay, with my creator. I have to know it and feel it is solid information before I will tell you the truth. This, though, is a twin flames. And you have them in your family. And sadly, we become enemies, even. These two never became enemies, but I kept them apart because I was told by my mother that my dad was the devil. Sorry, I gotta hang up. I still can't get over this. We are the manifestors of our imagination. Guess what book my dad read in high school? This is my father. Another photo delivered for you. Guess what book he read in school? Every child reads the same textbooks in North America and Canada. I don't know about the UK, but they were reading Rebel Without a Cause in the 50s. And do you know how many families broke up after that book? And then with the Hollywood coming on with those single parent families, it made it okay. It made it okay for people to want different things than family. And that is how we began to lose our minds. I have a lot of Greek come to me in my journey. The dots haven't completely connected all together yet, but Nana Muscuri, for one thing, I really feel a bond with that one, and her music. Also clinical hypnosis. I'm a clinical hypnotherapist, and hypnotherapy was founded in the Greek temples. So this is something to know, that the very few people know that the original Greek translation of the Apocalypse, you know what, I can never say that word for some freaking reason. No, I'm not kidding, I cannot say it. I get it mixed up all the time, the P and C. Okay, means lifting of the veil or revelation, a disclosure of something hidden from the majority of mankind in an era dominated by falsehood and misconception. Far from being a horrible experience, Apocalypse, there you go, represents the revealing of the true nature of things. It ushers in an era of forgotten freedoms and unprecedented clarity. This lifting of the veil will set us free from misery that has been the result of ignorance. I want to tell you how the psychopath works, or how Satan works. Remember, Satan is a consciousness of lies. It's not real, but it becomes real in our imaginations, and then we manifest satanic people by raising children like that. So, part of the journey I have is to explain the difference between Lucifer and Satan. It's the difference between the psychopath and the victim, the target. Because it was a satanic idea in Ephesus, Turkey, to enslave women. And Mary, the mother of Jesus, was sent to Ephesus, Turkey, and she was beheaded there with the accusation of being Lucifer. You understand? So once again, not only with Eve being all demonized by God, now we have Mary, the mother of Jesus, was Lucifer, the Christ mother. Because Christ was Jesus, just a man, remember, just a man, but he was conscious of Christ within him. And he was trying to teach everybody how to manifest from the imagination. And after he died, yes, his mother saw a spirit. And that's not okay. Trust me, I went through it all again. Yeah, crazy bitch. So you demonize the truth with spiritual intelligence. Now this meme showed up in my Google Photos. Just a whole bunch of really happy black African photos of families galore. It's loaded up in my Google Photos. Took a lot of space. Took a long time to delete them all. And but they were all so beautiful. They were happy, and they were looking at the camera like they were looking at me. And I just felt so blessed, but not invaded. You know, somebody put those photos in my, and my spirit believed that it was coming from somewhere special, because I have a lot of technical help in my spiritual world with my son Trevor. He helps me technically. I could not pull anything off, guys. I do not have a left brain. I failed grade 2. I've never done math. I've never done long division. I confess, I cheated to get into university. So, call me Lucifer. That's how it works. You know, I do things to not conform, but still have a life. And that is not acceptable to people that go along with the program. So they do. They call me Lucifer. Here, too, now. My family. I'm a light. I bring the truth out. I tell them they're a bunch of greedy perverts. They don't seem to like it. So this one showed up too. I don't know if it was a part of those African people. I just don't know. But I believe myself above all others. And that was the message too all along. You got this outside God that you're supposed to believe in above all others. And you freaking go crazy if you believe in any other God. Like yourself. As if you're not a part of the pie. Do you understand now? And so let's not have any more arguments. If you're going to call somebody Lucifer, you just remember who you're calling. You hear me? Okay. And this is in Virginia. So my whole story is going to wrap around the founding of America. 250 years ago they arrived. They were supposed to go to Pennsylvania and build it. They were brought in from Germany and picked up wives in the, they're slaves. You have to remember women were slaves. Nobody seems to remember that until the 20th bloody century, and even then, now they're Stepford wives. They like it. So they were slaves, and they were brought over from Scandinavia and Germany. Groseclose is a German name. I was blessed to go with I took my Auntie Pearl, my Uncle Hilliard, and my Auntie Verna. I couldn't bring my dad because he had a prison record and he couldn't cross the border. That freaking broke my heart. Heart was broken time and time again here. What we do to people is beyond torture, and we don't have to live like that. No, only if we think so. I wrote a book called Evil Eyes, Daughter's Memoir, and it was about my parents. They were psychopaths by the time they finished school. Well, my dad, he became when you drink, you become a psychopath because you're just you're not there for them, right? When you drink to excess, you become a psychopath. And, but often they have to drink because they're married to a psychopath who is cold and doesn't have to drink. But that's just the truth. A lot of psychopaths don't have to drink because they don't have feelings. That's it. I'm telling you that if you're comfortable, you're in a lot of trouble. My mother was comfortable here. She was a soldier for the program, and she was my twin flame, and I had no idea. See, we don't know who we're dealing with under the costumes or under the unconsciousness. This came to me a couple of years ago, and it's still not completely with me on what it means. My mother's last name was Oie. I think it might be some comedy in there because my family is very funny in spirit. So it might be, because what's a white woman doing with a name like that? I had a guy once ask me, is she Chinese? No? It might be a comedy thing to do with Oi, if you get my drift. And the name I before E except after C is just something that's repeating in my head over and over again, and I don't quite know what it is unless it means those names are cross-mixed. Those types of names are cross-mixed until Christ consciousness comes to them. Because nobody's evil. I mean nobody is evil in spirit. We can become demonic here, and trust me, I know demons here. Whoa. And what's happening is that we are our ancestors, our present selves, and future infants. So free children from these experimental medicine and education. You've got to educate them yourselves, you silly people. So we're all stars. Look in your eyes, see if you got any star left in you. If you haven't got any lights in your pupils, you're already gone. And I'd avoid those people. Well, I would really avoid them. I don't know what they are. Once the lights are closed here, you can go in auto motion. I told you that before. You can go in auto motion until you die. But if the lights aren't on, how will you find your way home? You won't. You will never find your way home. I'm here with a serious message. I try to bring some lightness along, but it's very hard doing this all by myself and being beaten up by everybody who is in the cult of the Garden of Eden. It's a big cult. This is my father on his deathbed. I brought him to palliative care. He was living on Skid Row, and nobody loved him anymore. I brought my granddaughter because I wanted to teach her how to love. Empathy. Because my dad did make a lot of mistakes. But people just, blow things up so out of proportion they can't love anymore. And that just makes us so sad. That makes our hearts bleed in eternity. It really does. She didn't learn from me, by the way. She has got zero empathy for her Nana. She thinks I'm Lucifer. She says she can tell evil. Because I spoke the truth about her grandfather and my son. People don't know the difference between evil and good. They can't use their own senses of what a person does in their life, how they interact, what are they doing. Me, I minded my own business and ended up destroying my child, trying to be like everybody else, because I just never was. I always was an alien. Yeah. But now, things are going to change with me. I'm out of the closet, and I know what I'm here for, and there's just no doubt when that comes, and I hope it comes to you, get going. You have to help me. This is not funny anymore. I came because this has been a soul harvest. And we are our future. We're going to be reborn into the family. And if we're reborn into people like my granddaughter and grandson, we are in serious trouble. Do you understand how it works? So, I just got told again, reincarnation isn't real. I want to tell you something. I know. I used to say that. I can't believe the difference in me. I did not believe in spirits around me or reincarnation. And it's another dot for me that I just remember very strongly how I felt about it. Now I ask myself, why did I believe that? Like why wasn't I open to reincarnation? And I had no idea, other than I must have learned it somewhere, or it scared the shit out of me and my spirit. And I think that was it. And I think there was good reason, because our spirits know more than our ego and what our ego has taught us here.